You were due.
I think we're straight, dude.
It's iPhone unavailable for 5 hours and 45 minutes. And I was like, I go back 5 hours before it was like, iPhone now available for 11 hours. I couldn't open it. People were calling me and I couldn't see it. It was terrible. And also beautiful.
What'd you get?
The 14.
Nice.
I didn't get the extra thing. It was $300 for another 11.
Did you get the regular 14 or the 14 Max?
Pro.
The 14 Pro.
I think so. I think that's
14 Pro, yo?
I didn't get the advanced camera. Didn't come with this.
They're like, unless you're like, I mean, they all look the same to me.
Aaron got a good. Aaron got the triple lens. I'm like, one of us has a good camera.
Reverb.
Take a picture of each other.
We're getting that reverb money tonight, boys.
Reverb.
Reverb.
But you don't get it if you click out of it.
How do I look bigger than you in this shot, Kevin? That's you know what? Maybe I need to use. That's. Are you sitting closer?
It's the First Amendment.
Are you wearing a Schmedium
sweatshirt?
What's going on here?
No, it counterbalances if you're usually small and it makes you look bigger. If you're usually bigger, it makes you look smaller.
This is a shocking moment for me. This might be my.
Did you all see the picture of us at courtside?
Life decisions.
Did you all see his picture of courtside?
No.
I look like a giant next to you two. I look enormous.
That's not.
It does.
It's not true now.
Well, we're not close enough, I guess.
I have more.
Yeah, thanks. Nice.
We're live. You guys got a great package.
Sorry.
Always love that.
Sorry about that.
So no one missed a show last week. We
3
were
socks tonight.
Package notification.
Not 2, 3.
offline for the basketball tournament. We were there all day Sunday and the championship Monday night. So Tuesday we were all talked out. So no one missed a shot. 85 years.
No.
Where? NES Tecmo? Oh yeah, no. This is it. He was the one. The NES is the one who suggested fictional cops, correct? Confirmed. I believe that is correct.
It was between. Well, here it is. Whoever's ready to rock should be ready to rock. It's a deep and plentiful.
Yep.
I don't remember this. Is this the night I wasn't here?
It
Okay.
was suggested by someone on the board right before we put our heads on the concrete outside and called it quits.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Right before the garbage men came for recycling.
It was. We solved a lot of
That was
problems.
a long night, huh?
The skin of our.
That's
On
what you
behalf
guys do when
of-
I'm not here. You just cut it loose until
Whose mic is off?
dawn.
I know whose mic is off. T's mic was off because T wasn't here last week.
Hey, geez, you keep turning my shit off, man.
Hey, you know what? We had to.
Can you turn T on real quick? I'll
on.
slide back.
T's
briefly.
on. T's on. No, T's on.
Okay. All right.
I can do it.
I am
remotely.
now.
It was weird how you
Now that
made-
my friends all looked out for me. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we're good to go. Is
Turned
anyone
off,
can
turned
anyone
on.
not
Try to get-
hear?
they try to
mics?
take me out of
That's
this
always a
game.
good question to ask your live audience. Welcome to Thank God It's Tuesday. Appreciate y'all being
Hey,
here.
we missed you all last week, man.
Now, a little unconventional. Tim Strachan, Kevin Ricca, Ken Marangolo. I thought it would.
Formal.
I need some. I can't hear. I can't hear me yelling at.
I can't hear you yelling. You're as loud as the
Very
loud
very
as you can be.
informal
All right.
introduction.
You're all fine. AGH can hear
Okay.
fine. He's the farthest
If
one away.
AGH can hear from Wales, then
He's the
we're good.
farthest one away
Clear.
in Wales. So I was stumbling through my computer today,
Just make
looking
me
for
feel
like ways
nervous.
to share games that we just filmed
Mm-hmm.
with ESPN. No big deal. But went into my Google file and the reason why
that's always fun
went into my Google file
and scary.
and saw some dated audio files called The Audible, which was the name of our first show when we first started. And I didn't know I had any of those shows because if you recall, if anyone on this board recalls, which I'd be shocked if you do, but my computer was stolen. That we recorded a bunch of shows, like for the first 2 months. These guys come over one night to record a show, and I go into my bag, no computer, or someone else's computer. It's actually a long, awesome story.
The
But
old switcheroo.
the old switcheroo, didn't have a computer, never got it back, thought all those shows were lost. Go to find out today, dated 9/22.
No, it was in India.
Oh yeah. No. The story of my computer is one we won't waste
we
any
don't want
time
to
on
mess with their
tonight.
government right now. We're
Yes.
trying to keep that.
They're searching for keywords online as we speak.
Fathead. They'll never find
9/22
it.
15. 9/22 15. And it was literally like turning on the mics,
Sounds right.
like, not knowing they were working. I had
It's over 8 years.
Harrison on the phone. Like, how do I do? And I'm like, you guys, and the
Strictly audio.
Strictly audio, and it was just ice and whiskey the entire time.
Yeah, we went hard.
5 minutes
at
in,
first.
I figured out how to turn the music on, and we had this whole conversation about you have no idea what Hall & Oates "She's Gone" was, and which is day one.
It's
been ever present.
Well,
and,
we still don't know. What
so
that
we'll
is.
listen to it. We'll listen to it at some point. But it was funny. And 2015, 9/22/15 was what we went live on. The conversation we were having when we went live. You were talking about Hackenberg, the quarterback from
He's
Penn
terrible.
State. Yeah, and that was, thank God, we were universally against
Terrible.
we were all against that.
all against him. But there was some
Probably a really good guy. I don't mean to be,
sure.
but he was bad.
Great Kirk Cousins conversation, pre-drama.
I thought about that when you said that. I was like, remember we were like, we're going to give Kirk Cousins like $20 million.
Yeah, and this was even before that.
Daniel Jones got 40 today, baby. No,
Yeah.
but Jesus.
I know.
That was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
8 years ago we were having that conversation. Barely.
He was still a top
McLovin
5
was
quarterback
still
this
in
year.
town.
There was Ken rolled out the welcome mat. Remember that?
Yeah.
There was a whole lot of happiness going on. That's the first night I ever tasted Redbreast.
Yeah.
Never had Irish whiskey that I enjoyed. I had gutted a few hundred Jameson shots.
Of course.
But I didn't enjoy it on the way down. It was like medicine. But at the end, it always worked.
So
I love Redbreast, and it started me on quite a journey, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that, sir.
Yeah.
I mean,
T says
First time I ever drank Redbreast.
you could tell that whiskey, the ice was hitting the glass. The microphones, we didn't have microphone arms. We just had these microphones on little stands on the table. So it picked up all the whiskey ice.
yeah.
T's like, I don't have to be home by 11, but it would be great if I was. And then you were like, I could totally sell 11 o'clock. That would be a good result. And it was day one I could tell by listening, I was like, 11 o'clock. I wonder if we finished that early. But based on the sound of our voices, and we were maybe a half a whiskey in, I knew for a fact we weren't finished at 11 o'clock that day.
Yeah.
Those early days, we go to 1 a.m. on the regular.
Easily.
How did we possibly survive Wednesday? There
That was
no
pre-COVID.
I remember
Pre-COVID, when you would go to work the next day, like on time.
with double X marks, cartoon style over your eyes. Like, it was brutal walking out of here. My wife was like, Jesus, what do you smell like? And I was like, "Nah." And I remember like night one, she was like,
it was Kirk Cousins.
I know.
Kirk Cousins.
there was a PA, there was a microphone.
Yes.
I kept singing into it, and everyone kept yelling. Remember, I couldn't stop singing. I'm a terrible singer. All right, sorry.
He said
This
T said that he would never be a fan for the team. No, Kevin said T said that if they changed the name, he would
Right.
never be a fan again. There was a whole.
I still have a really hard time saying it.
I know.
I can't.
No, but it was, I
Good
get it.
conversation
We were all
about
trying
this.
we were all trying to digest the process that was right in front of us.
People can
with
tell
the
when I
turd
say
that
it.
is still crawling on. That slug is still hanging on to Landover.
Okay, let's just go there
Yeah.
right away. So
Now I want it changed again.
Me too.
I'm down with that.
I am too.
I think we should just keep rotating. Every couple of years a change.
Well, the Defenders game, the FU Snyders sounded great. So if we
Yes.
could just be the Washington FU Snyders, that
right
it
on the
rolls
helmet.
off the tongue.
Right on the helmet.
Oh God, like a little dude, like I love saying like legs kicking on the toilet seat with a gigantic bird,
Yeah.
middle finger style, flying right in his dome, like for eternity, on the back of a Letterman's jacket. Just saying.
Here's where we're at. Owners meetings are coming up in 20 days or so, end of March, and
23rd.
23rd. So they are going to. We initially thought that was when they would be authorizing, blessing, approving a sale to a person who wants to buy this team. We officially don't know if that's even possible in the timetable going forward, because Snyder has gummed up the works in a very Snydery way. He said he wants indemnification. He wants to be held. He doesn't want to be liable for any of the shit he did. He doesn't want Mary Jo White's report to go public, and he's not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
Can I just go away
Yeah.
and not be held responsible at all?
Since when do you throw a punch bowl in the turlet? I thought it was supposed to go the other way. He is totally jamming up this whole process.
Yeah.
Like right now, you think he's milking the floors? Like, remember how he threw all the milk underneath? Is he just milking all the floors? Like,
Yeah.
let's get non-pasteurized. This is pasteurized. Like, he's doing everything he can to be just a little prick.
Yeah, and
thorn in the side.
he can. There's a lot of moves he can make. The league still holds the ultimate card. They want Bezos. I believe they've made that
the ultimate
clear.
card they don't want to play.
Well, okay, so there's really two levels of ultimate card. They don't want to play it, but they also have Mary Jo White, and they've told Congress, they've told the world, they've told each other, they've told us that report's going to be public. So if they agree
from what we've read recently, they've also got the FBI and
dude, he's been
the Secret
investigated by
Service.
all the
EPA's got a stank ass.
They're going to put him behind bars.
The IRS, the DEA.
I mean,
seriously, they've all investigated
jail
this guy.
time.
The Girl Scouts of America have offered a full Nelson for him upon a reward of, he's getting a half Nelson at least from one of these scouts.
He's being investigated every single possible way, which is why he knows
So embarrassing.
his time is coming to an end. And so I was never more sure when we started saying it that this team would be sold. And I did, T, I remember you weren't necessarily maybe 100% on board with this, maybe still aren't. I did say and still believe that this will cost Roger Goodell his job. I don't think that he's not going to jail or anything. He's going to walk away with hundreds of millions of dollars. But I think, I said a long time ago this is going to drag him down. I think it will drag him down, and no one cares at all.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Well,
yeah, you've got the next point. I think you saw the rules, the rules that came out today about how to get rid of an owner.
Oh, sure. So
it's never happened before.
They've never.
Which is crazy.
That's why they don't want to do it. They don't want it to happen.
If they follow the good
There's
thing
no
about the NFL
rules. There's like 3
Once
rules.
one goes down, it's easier to take the next one down.
Sure.
Well, he's first, so this is gonna be a son bitch.
I gotta believe we're still.
But Roger Goodell is the judge and partial juror in this process. I'll just do it real fast. Someone has to bring charges. Goodell is eligible. There's 33 men, 32 owners, and Goodell can bring charges. Submit them, and an investigation will follow. Goodell will determine whether or not he should go to the group, and then blah, 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 and then 24 out of 32. That's it.
Yeah.
They said the rules were written 500 years
literally
ago.
All they do is
like-
follow.
sounds-
Yes.
If they
Sounds
follow
like
those
Norway,
rules-
1700.
I know. So bad.
But the thing is, it'll automatically spur on a crazy legal battle because Snyder is the guy who will challenge in the courts. Everyone has said this is only going to make it last longer, but ultimately, if the NFL goes by its own bylaws and rules as written, which and they're very clear, then it will hold in a court of law. But he can drag it out and make it painful for them. Which, since this seems to be known by even basement dwellers like us. There's a possibility that the owners would say, F it. Like, what do we want to do? Do we want to just go balls to the wall in a legal battle with Dan Snyder that we can win after just pain, or give him some money, figure out a way to make him go away sooner? That is what these guys...
Then use it as lighter fluid as we burn him at the stake?
Sure.
Oh.
Paying him a bunch of money and him going away is the best case scenario for them.
I don't
disagree. Then there's going to be no spotlight on them. They can kind of all take a collective breath and be like, let's move on.
They're going to have to make that choice. I think there was a time when they thought they could convince him, take your $6 billion profit or $5.5 billion profit and go away. And everyone's like, that seems reasonable. But
seems reasonable. This dude's in the basement of the damn stadium sprinkling honey and jacks with booby traps set. Like he's right
Once
now.
Snyder's going down,
he is the worst human.
Once he knows he's going down, he's going to try to take everyone he can.
Oh God, misery.
Which is why they don't want to.
That's the reason why Goodell ultimately goes down because he's the bullet taker. That's his job. His job isn't to dap up first round picks with his cuddly sweater or. His job is to stand in front of 32 billionaires and take the heat.
Maybe he's kept everything
quiet.
quiet
That's what he does.
At his request because he's like, if you don't keep it quiet, I'm coming out with all this other crap.
Wait, who, Goodell?
No, Snyder is telling Goodell, don't let anything out because if you do, I got other stuff I'll let out.
If those two could possibly
if that's the case, then you're right. Goodell's gone.
I just feel like
I know nothing about the whole Goodell thing. Yeah, I just think he's just a gross dude. So
sure.
I wouldn't mind if
they're
going to
hire a new guy. Condoleezza Rice would be a great pickup.
Of course.
That's why she won't get the job.
Yeah, I know. Because she makes too much sense.
It's a consigliere. It's a mob boss consigliere. That's what the commissioner of the NFL is. There's just no...
Like, she's really smart and powerful. No way.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No
We want a guy who's happy to take hundreds of millions of dollars and look like a villain and get to wear a sweater once a year and dap up first-round picks.
Oh, he's great at it.
He's great at
He's
it.
great at that. Perfect
Sitting in front of the
hair.
fake fire on the leather couch.
Remember all the
He's
the
also
screen
big
behind
enough
the
to do
pandemic?
it. You know what I mean?
know.
Like
He has the
so it
size.
doesn't look
No,
weird
it
and
doesn't.
awkward.
He's a first round. He's got first round size
Yeah,
and strength
yeah.
in the hugging department.
Close
for sure.
enough.
Oh, good Dell.
No one cares about Roger. I believe that's what's going to happen. There's a perfectly reasonable path for that. It doesn't happen, but no one cares. They'll get another Goodell. There's a lot of Goodell's out there. There's Goodell. They grow on trees.
I'll be one.
I raised my hand first. No, he might have beat me, but
point proven.
I thought it first.
Yes.
Oh, God. Let me be Goodell
I
for
could
a
have my
day.
CV to you.
Goodell for a day is
Yes.
plenty money for me to move forward
Where do you
with my
sign? Where do I
shame
sign?
on my forehead.
Just show me where to sign. So the timetable on this thing is definitely changing by the second, but but it doesn't change the end result. I think that's the most important thing. Like, there's no point at this exact moment where we end up in a reality where Dan Snyder is the long-term or owner of this team, or like, I don't.
Some people still think they're going to screw this up so bad.
I don't think
he
that.
will hold on.
Yeah.
I'm in between.
I don't understand
I'm in
where or
between-
how.
I'm in between and closer to you guys by far. I'm just not ready.
I know.
to celebrate.
It's
It's
smart.
like I just
We
can't.
can't celebrate. But you're right.
Honestly, like, how do you celebrate anything to do with this guy? But you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. The final commiseration will be tremendous. Oh,
Like, if he is indicted and then he says, "Hold up, everything has to happen before anything could be sold," and it just mires in legal
No.
abyss.
The league can then go to their rules and be like, all right, this guy's out. They can get rid of this guy. If he has legal trouble, he's going.
The
he's
biggest
going.
worry about these rules is they were written legitimately, I think, 1966.
Yeah.
When they came together briefly. It's less than 1,000 words, and what they said was, this legal document read by any lawyer, they're going to be like, oh, we're going after this. Of
course,
it's like,
of course.
hey, dude, y'all can stop dicking around a little bit.
Yeah.
If some guy's being a dick, just try not to be a dick. It's like,
You could really not be a dick.
this is what we were doing in 19... And unfortunately, for us specifically, that is the... but you know what? Screw it all. At some point, someone just has to
getting
take them
there.
out.
We're moving.
Like,
We're
you
moving
just
forward.
Dunk them. You just throw them into a...
And the new-
I'm thinking iceberg yacht scenario.
They can-
Like,
they
is
can
there an
vote on the new
iceberg
rules.
yacht scenario?
They
I
can
don't want
change-
anyone to perish, but a yacht can perish.
Yeah, can perish. They can. They can.
Speaking
they
of the
can
way Vikings did
they
it,
can
we should just put-
reconvene and vote on a brand new set of rules.
We should just put Snyder and Goodell into a ring and let them fight to the death. And
Oh, God.
Come on, man. I don't wanna see that.
But it's a tie because they've both made deals with the devil, and you guys know how that goes. He's like, this
Tie is
legalese-
a win for everybody
This legalese
else.
says that we all burn in hell for eternity. Yeah. So, all right. And that'd be fair. That'd be fine. That's a great ending.
So, like the Dan
I am
Snyder
on my
thing,
All right,
it's
that's,
like-
season
that's a little
Vikings.
bit tough.
There's-
I don't want anyone to burn in hell.
I don't want anyone to burn in hell. But there's the two sides of that on the Dan Snyder side. So I think the owners have a choice to make. Do they want to drag this all the way out to the end that gets rid of Dan Snyder? Or do they want to nip it in the bud that gets rid of Dan
He
Snyder?
leaves a little tiny drag mark, I think. It's just
He does.
a little tiny.
So, but on the Dan Snyder side, obviously, he's impervious to shame. He doesn't care about being around a disastrous situation. He's shown us as the owner of the Redskins how little he cares about what people think of him. So he's going to the mattresses if he gets even half a chance. He has no incentive almost at all except to go scorched earth because that's who he's proven himself to be time and time again. He could, if there was a good result for us on the Dan Snyder side, is he would basically be using the next 20 or what would you say 23rd, so 17 days of time to flail about to drive up the price as much as he possibly can, whether that's another 100 million or another 100,000, whatever it is, and try as hard as he can, and say, fine, I'm out, I'll take it. I don't see that coming out of him, personally.
look, I know the owners would love to just get him, close to what he wants, just so he goes away. But the feds don't play that game. When you break a rule, they keep you here.
he
and
doesn't
put you
know
away.
those rules. He's never had to play
So
by those rules.
It may be out of the owner's hands at some point if it becomes a legal matter. And
But
then at
as
that
soon as
point,
it
he can,
sniffs that, then all someone's got to do is say to the other 31
to
owners.
Kevin's point,
Snyder-
I mean, Snyder has the money and the
Well,
lawyers that will throw every stop they can.
But where that legal process starts, is after he's ousted. So the league will kick him
He's
out.
not convicted.
No. Forget about convicted. Whatever. So if he has legal troubles outside, it doesn't. That's its own thing. The league can push him out just for having legal troubles. The legal
Is there a gavel?
legal battle that Dan Snyder would embark on against the owners doesn't happen until after they officially vote him out. In which case, by their opinion, he's out. Then he fights.
And also to both those points, as he's trying to get as much money as he can, squeeze this orange as fat as he can, he still can't sign Adam Archuleta to a 17-year, $500 million deal, to leave us with a big old.
That's a good thing.
That's what I'm saying.
We're trading for Lamar Jackson.
Obviously, you're understanding my exaggeration here. So he's just kind of persona non grata right now. He's in title, but I think we all understand this. When they're talking about that legalese language I talked about with 1,000 words earlier, they're talking about a 51% to a 90%, and they're like, well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter whatever. Here's the deal. There's a lot of wiggle room here. They are going to figure a way to wiggle his little ass on up the river, and I can't wait till that happens.
It's definitely going to be dramatic. I guess there's just no way around it.
As far as
Doesn't he have
turds
his
goes,
ass
it's not like a
wiggling in
long
international
one. It's just
waters
like a
right
little
now?
plugger, and it's just it just goes right down.
Yeah, just smooth it.
Yeah,
What's
it's
that
not gonna be
team?
tough.
Isn't he wiggling his ass in international waters right now?
Yeah,
He's a supervillain.
yeah.
16 AGH? What's 16? Tell me.
Days until the 26th.
16.
We're on different time zones.
Oh, that's true. You're already in, he's already in the next day.
He already lived this day. He knows. He already knows
Don't
what
tell
happened.
us. Don't tell us what happened.
Tell us what happens tomorrow.
AGH. Don't even think about it. We will be getting to a draft. And did NES Tecmo ever respond that he was the second gunner in the grassy knoll?
I just saw right there you go.
No.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Well, here's the deal. I think Greg Martin and NES Tecmo were both heavy-handed in this. That's now it gets really fuzzy late on Tuesday nights. It's really dark in this
I
region,
leave and you guys
and
just
we're in a basement.
Yeah.
Without
Well, fictional
proper
cops
lighting.
go back
Great
to
topic.
go back
the
to
best basement lighting in any
2017.
basement.
Go back to when?
When did we start? When was the first show?
2017?
2015.
15.
We had things figured out by 2017. We were on the cusp of lighting
From
innovation.
audio to video to a church PA mic. It was amazing.
That's right.
It's Ken's birthday, and we should all pray for Rhett's ankle because it's super swollen and hairy. It's his first 3 hairs. Remember that pregame announcements, a pre-morning thing over the PA speaker? That's what we had,
We still have that.
and it was money. It was the
that's
coolest
what we
thing.
switched to.
It was the coolest thing I ever did. 8 years and what? 4 months later? We've always debated about the timeline. Just saying.
It was maybe
9/22.
4.5 years, maybe.
There has to be a party on 9/22, and I think we should bring these guys. I'm just saying.
We tagged Payne. We hired Bieniemy. We got rid of Wentz. We got rid of McCain, and we have some money to spend. Tagging deadline is passed. We know some of what the free agent landscape looks like. So I like just give one move, and I'll go last. One move based on just what we know now, whether it be the person you want to get the most in the draft, whether it be a free agent you want to go after, what be a trade you want to happen. Is there one move right now in the free agency? Kevin, I'll let you go first.
Yes, I will tell you this. 5 winning seasons since 2000. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking we need to do everything differently, except for we just got to rebuild this O-line. So
Yeah.
I would like our first pick in the draft to be a freaking monster because
tackle.
I will promise you this. But also, it could be a monster corner as well. I am all
give you
about
one move.
2 positions. But I'm going to give you my one move. I
Okay.
do believe that it should be only a corner or a tackle.
Of course.
Sorry. I'm not going to give you 2 moves.
You're almost teeing it up.
I had to rake earlier. I'm not feeling all that spry. I only got 1 move. But I think this. I think we get a big-time corner first.
Okay.
Now, that's crazy because I went 3 starting O-linemen. But there's so many corners and O-linemen. It's really driving my
we're not
ass
going to get
crazy.
Joey Porter Jr. There's
I
no
know
chance.
that.
Which
I get
is
it.
sad.
I get it. But we're going to get a stud.
Witherspoon might be there.
The whole world has us. Our post mock, if you type in post mock,
Yep.
post
Devin
combine
Witherspoon.
mock, post combine mock, we have Devin Witherspoon everywhere. Everyone's like, well, apparently. But I know this. It's very strange because we interviewed 32 people at the Combine. The Commanders had 32 interviews, 20 O-linemen,
Yeah.
10 tackles, 5 guards, and 5 centers, which tells me something, which is why my pick right here is corner, because I know you're going to get super psyched if you have to ask me what my second.
How does that all add up to corner?
Because the number 1 center in the draft, John Michael Schmitz from Minnesota,
Michael Schmitz.
has kind of been the guy that they're saying. And I'm also thinking, look,
His name is my name.
Roulier
too.
doesn't have John Michael Jingle. Roulier can go play a little guard maybe.
Of
So
course.
can John Michael.
Yep.
So that's why it's brilliant. And this guy's known as the heartbeat, and he is, 6'3", 6'4", 300. He's the type of guy we talked about Bieniemy looking for. Interior, not on the tackles. Obviously, they got big Orlando out left. That dude's like 6'8", 350. He sure outright last year for the Chiefs. I would take him too, but that's going to cost us way too much money. Not a possibility. Point being, interior offensive line. If that second-round pick and that third-round pick are big boys, and we got 3 dudes that we think have to play. If you get a second or third rounder these days, interior O-line, plug and play. Chase Roulier, the center, that corner, another guy in the I'm just saying. So my
Corner,
first-round pick
first round.
is the best available badass 6'2", 210-pound
Corner.
corner. And I will say this, Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr., Devin Witherspoon. I'm going to say Deontay Banks at Maryland just ran the best 40 time that they possibly could have imagined. He's a physical bad dude that couldn't play in 2021. I don't know if we got enough of him in 2022, but it's going to be a guy that can run in that 4'4", 4'3", 7', 4'4" range, who's 6 foot more. Aside from Witherspoon, who's 6 foot, $180, but hits like a freight train.
Yep.
That's what I'm going with. I'm going to go with what everyone else did.
Okay.
Because this guy's a bad dude, and he's kind of a can't-miss guy out there, and we need, after the failed experiment at corner this year, in the free agency market, we need a badass can't-miss. Followed up by a second, and you know how we like to trade back a little bit. We don't want to talk about that. We're pretty good about giving
Well, hold
up a
on. Let me
couple
give.
slots.
So
There's my one spot. It's a
first
forever.
round corner.
I want a badass corner in the first round, a shutdown lockdown to pair with the boys. Kendall Fuller's in his final year.
T. You're one.
I
big move.
don't have any names. I want line. That's it.
So wait, do you want to sign
But-
a free agent lineman? The best we can get at a couple spots. There's a couple big names out there.
That sounds
They're
expensive.
gonna
We need-
cost
I
a
don't-
lot of moolah.
We need studs. We need studs on the line. I think you can get a corner, in other spots in free agency or later in the draft.
That sounds expensive.
But you gotta do the line. But I haven't.
2
thought
years
about
ago,
it.
we had Eric Flowers and Brandon Sheriff. Our guards were bad as bad
They were
could
badass.
be. And last year they were not.
So
I can't,
then
I
think
can't
you're-
argue with that.
I mean, especially if we're getting a corner in the first. So either saying first round offensive lineman or free
Yeah.
agent offensive
Yes.
lineman. No,
Yes.
you got to pick
I
one of
gotta
those
pick
big
one
ones.
within
Yep.
first round.
First round offensive lineman. Okay.
There's a lot of good ones, and we can make some of these tackles guards. We can make some of our tackles
Paris
guards.
Johnson
We got a
is
lot of
interesting
options
to me right now.
He's super, but he might be the first lineman off the board.
Yeah.
How about Broderick Jones from Georgia and what
Sure.
he just did?
He's
How about
physical.
homeboy Anton Harrison, who we keep bragging about from right
Yep.
down the street in Harewood Road? Carroll, WCAC guy.
We
but,
should take 4 who's.
Darnell
with our
Wright from
last pick, no
Tennessee,
matter
who
what.
just jumped out. Yeah, why not?
All right. So I get a big
Let's start a
move.
franchise.
My big move would be Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker from Buffalo, 24 years old, 6'4"
You've
and
been
change,
on that.
6'5".
That's right.
Lightning fast for a middle. Plays a legit middle linebacker, and we kept Payne, so you get a chance to go to him and say you get to play behind Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. I think that's an attractive move for him, and his agent can get behind. And I mean, if you put him in the middle of our defense, you could arguably say that it would be a
What do you do with
headliner
Jamin?
defense. Jamin's on the field with him.
Jamin's
right there next to him. But weak side.
We only played 2 linebackers
Yeah.
at this point. So
And those are badass.
you can't have a
linebackers.
small linebacker. You already have a small Buffalo nickel or whatever you want to call that
The
position.
safety. Yeah.
May I just mention one name real quick?
Sure.
The board mentioned it. We're talking about it. This Drew Sanders, who started his career at Alabama, he's played every position in football in the last 5 years. And he was a high school 5-star who was the quarterback. You know the guy that he goes to Alabama. There's a million dudes. They had him rushing off the edge. Arkansas says, "Come on over here. We'll play you at middle. We'll stunt you around." Blah, blah. He had a huge year, 6'5", 233. He's the type of guy that we get if we pull off one of our little pushed back drafts to the mid-late round.
Sure.
And that's a dude that I think all of a sudden becomes available. I don't know if I want him where we stand right now. The guy's a stud, but I know what we need. But Drew Sanders, the board's talking about a linebacker that we could possibly draft. I think Manner of Speaking just brought it up. Check this guy out. He's a crazy prospect. He's played so many different positions, so he's a little bit raw, but he's got the athleticism. And
is he a combine hero though?
no, he's no.
He's got the film.
At Arkansas, so he left Alabama specifically. He didn't want to be a one-trick pony. Arkansas said, "We'll start you at middle. We'll let you run free." He became their dude, first team all everything. They'd sometimes line him up. And 3rd and 16, they bring him back up middle linebacker and put this dude down and drop the ends down like we do to tackle and rush the passer. He was coming off the edge on the right side. So he's an 6'5", 233, an explosive athlete.
But I want the offensive lineman.
Me too.
That's the only thing.
I'm just saying if we move back,
me too.
we get a couple
Hashtag
picks. We don't just get one pick. We move back. We get how we do in the 3rd round, and I'm not getting into that right now.
Well, all right. So
Good ignore right there.
yeah, you didn't ignore. I would say that I like the corner in the 1st round and building the line beyond. The interesting part about
Build the line is my primary. I'm just trying to
building
figure
the
out the best
line.
way to do it.
That's your
attack
primary
with-
objective, but you want a
Yes.
corner.
Eric Bieniemy
Yes,
as
we
the
need a
offensive
corner,
coordinator
but
coming to our team
this is how
this year.
the draft works. Yes,
is an interesting
My guess.
scenario for us because
It
their
is.
left tackle,
It is.
Orlando Brown,
Yes.
is on the market now. He ain't coming cheap. He's going to come with a huge price tag.
he's a top 5 tackle.
But the problem with top 5 free agents over the last 5 plus, 10 plus, 15 plus years is, do they want to play here? More often than not, that answer is no. So they go play somewhere else. But with Bieniemy here, a guy like him, you can sell him on the idea of playing here because he's going to be super comfortable with a guy that that was on the offensive side of the ball. That's a selling point. A guy like him has to want to come here. We can offer him all the money that we can offer him his market rate, and he obviously you pencil him in. He's starting for us on day one. It's going to cost a shit ton of money.
And the money where you can pay a shit ton if you're not paying the quarterback a shit ton. But you can afford not to pay the left tackle a shit ton if your quarterback is 47th highest paid quarterback in the universe.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make a mill. It's $960 and some change. So, but that doesn't matter.
It's
You
a
still
huge
got to
event.
lock it down.
And he has to want to come here.
And he's
think
going to
he
get
would.
he's
I
going
think
to
he
get
will.
so paid. But we have the ability to create. There's some dudes here that we can create. There's some financial obligations that we can
We
overcome.
can free up some money. We can defer
And if you're
some
Ron
stuff.
Rivera and maybe in a 1-year situation like we've talked about the last few weeks, why not take a shot now?
Yeah.
How much longer are you going to wait?
not his
for,
money.
Exactly. And by the way, it might not be his job within the
that's
year.
true.
So
That's
let's
true.
get everyone we can right now, which is why I don't mind making a splash somewhere, whether it be middle linebacker, left tackle, cornerback.
Yeah, I don't
and all
want
across
quarterback
the
in
offensive
free
line.
agency. I don't want
cornerback.
I don't.
Cornerback.
I know.
I know. Me
I don't want
neither.
to pay that
Me
money
neither.
because
Me
we
neither.
can get a stud in the first round.
And it's a very deep corner draft.
Yep.
Very, very deep O-line draft, very deep corner draft. That's fun.
I
That's
like
fun for us.
I'm not gonna echo till the. So Greg Martin has
Yeah.
an ability to really harp on. He'll grab something by the tail and let it go. And this one, I'm with you. I'm with you on this one.
Yeah. I wouldn't
if
argue.
There's a
Orlando
kicker, well, we're talking about. He's talking about kickers, and I'm going to say that's not a big
I wasn't.
number one
Okay,
move.
wake me up when we're done.
It's not a premier situation, but he raised the interesting point about the points that were lost at the kicker position for this team this year in games where those could have ultimately been called the difference in wins and losses. When you're 8-1 and you could have been in the playoffs, it's reasonable to want a better kicking game.
And it's also reasonable to want the defense to kick a little more ass and the offense to score a little more freaking points. You don't have to rely upon the kicker. So
Well, when you're missing extra points, and
listen,
missing.
he's average to above. He's not good enough to be excited about. But
I'm gonna back-
You think he's terrible?
I like the idea of Robbie Gould, signing a
I'll
contract
take
for
a
us.
more professional guy. To be fair,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. It'd be like, and blah, 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 and I'll have that with a Coke. And they're like, well, sir, we only serve Pepsi. I'm like, just bring it. I'm going to
Fair
drink
enough.
it with my cheeseburger and French fries.
Fair enough. I'll probably register a little higher than that.
We know.
the special
We've seen
teams.
you oogle or ogle.
I think when your team is focusing on special teams more, I think that's a good thing. And we've seen that be the difference in winners and losers in the NFL.
I've been to a 10U game with Ken. He's like, the kicker, he has the ability to hit an extra point. I'm like, do he have the ability to block it? He's like, I have no idea, but I've been watching him the whole time. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
It's points. I
was wondering what time the snack bar opened.
You got to score points to win, and we missed a decent amount of points at the kicking position this year.
I'm not going to argue with that. I have no deep, but I just think there's so many other positions.
I said it's not my first
And
or
Trent is
10th
also
priority.
in his last year.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I think it's we got to walk and chew gum and think about special teams.
You're not a Sly guy.
I'm as far as Sly is concerned. There's a
I
part
meant
of me
Sly, not Trent.
that's in the I don't give a shit category. Ultimately, I think he's good enough to where if we didn't make a change, I'd be like, all right, fine. I'm there.
Good, because that's where you should be about kickers.
So T, I'm just going to disagree with you. I guess just to be a devil's advocate. I just feel like
I'm also not going to fight you.
you got to
about
have
kickers.
points, and so I don't
Okay.
know. I don't see any problem with bringing in a professional kicker. I don't think we're at the point where we're a kicker away from anything, so I don't want to get over the top about it. But it does stand out when you fail to convert on points that you could have used to win a game.
Which is what every kicker since Chip Lohmiller here has done forever.
Yeah.
So, but pretty much every kicker in the NFL has done that forever, besides 5 to 10 guys. There's always some super special guys each year. Obviously, the dude up freaking 95 in Baltimore has always been a special cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we could land one of those guys, let's sign him for 15 effing years. And,
Sure.
And that's fine by me. And that's a huge weapon. I do get that.
We don't have that.
A kicker. No.
We can at least agree on that.
0.
Okay.
No, we're not even close to
We
calling
haven't had a
our
mainstay at
special
that.
team.
That's
Tress Way
back
is a
till
huge weapon.
Yes, he
Mosley.
is.
That's it.
Since Mosley's been
That's
around.
our best huge weapon on special teams. And anyone else besides Jeremy Reeves, who's not part of our franchise right now, but I certainly would like to have back.
I would
even
like to
though
have
we
Reeves
probably
back.
aren't going to be able to, because someone's going to reach out and grab him.
They will. And just to be clear, I'm spending my last dollar on Reeves, not a kicker, just so we all know where priorities lie. All I'm saying is I want it to be a factor in our thoughts on the offseason.
I think we're all in agreeing this. I have no problem upgrading our kicker.
Yeah.
None. In fact, all
But don't
for
tell
it.
me it cost me Reeves.
I'm just, please don't let
That's
it cost
that's
Reeves.
that's all I'm saying.
For
That's
God's sake.
We can agree on that.
Because
too.
Reeves can actually play football. He doesn't
Yep.
have to just be a special teams guy because he made his bones by it. That's just going to make him a couple bucks, because unless he has his high school roommate as an agent, that first team all pro slot right there, that gets paid. You get paid.
Absolutely.
Whether it be 70,000 more at that level, that's huge, because that dude's only made less than $1 million for a few.
HGH. I think it was the 82 season. It was the strike season when Mosley got in.
And that was part of it.
Yep.
Just to be honest, the press in the NFL was a little pissed at the NFL, and there was a thingy going on, and they were like, well, how about if we just name Mark Mosley MVP
Right
in the
place
league that
at the
Lawrence
right
Taylor
time.
plays it? That'll really chap that
place at the right
ass.
time.
And guess what? It did.
It worked out.
Because that wasn't Mark Mosley's best year kicking here. And he was never in the top 20 in the MVP voting. So
He just had those game winners.
He did.
He just
And
had
did.
those game
and
winners.
You know what? And that was huge.
Yeah.
And the
We
afro.
all knew it.
And the afro.
That fro was
The fro
taut.
was, yeah. No,
It was taut.
It
The
definitely
blue
played a-
blockers
it
were
It
on
was
played a
so
factor.
glow. It was so
The
glow in there.
tank
It played a
top,
factor in the whole
The
thing.
booty shorts that you could I mean, he had it all going. He really did. And now he owns all the Five Guys around here. And it's the best burger in town. So I'm thinking Mark Mosley is still kicking it right through the uprights. You got to go with everything, though.
Have you done the?
If you
All the way.
hear or,
The grilled
or
cheese with
see
a patty?
anything tonight, give a
It's
thumbs up.
so delicious,
And if you haven't
yeah.
yet subscribed to
I mean,
First
it's all
Amendment
delicious.
Sports,
I get it. I
hit the
go all the
button.
way.
It's a
My
free.
favorite.
It costs you nothing. Just hit the button, be a subscriber. We're on a quest for 5,000. We're halfway there. We started the season at 4,000 subscribers. We're about 4,500 now. Just 500 more. So tell a friend. Get him.
Yeah.
Get him
I just want
get
to
him
tell
in
a friend this. Greg Martin's talking to AGH, and I'm telling two friends this. I have a picture at home of Mark Mosley as the reigning Super Bowl MVP in Tampa Bay the night before we lost to the Raiders. I stayed in the same hotel. My godfather took the picture. He looks, I mean, he has a gold chain. He has the chest hair, the Lecoq Sportif sweatsuit. He had it all going. That's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to get that out there. And that's what I want to say. My two brother-in-laws recreated it for my 40th birthday.
That's the picture I know.
And it's very beautiful. The before and it's just a great thing amongst people that love their franchise, which is why we're all part of this. I really want to. I'm going to bring that in. It'll be like show and tell. Maybe we'll have show and tell night. What do you think?
Show and tell night.
I'm just saying.
It's been a while since we had show and tell night. I didn't know they were
He's
going
not going to like
back.
it.
I don't like
Starting
show
to creep
and
him
tell.
out.
I don't
We're
have
starting to
anything,
creep
I
him
don't
out
have
a little
anything
bit.
to show.
Rhett, show and tell night. Maybe we'll just show Rhett. Like,
Oh, I can show my North Turner visor.
yeah. Well, we
Yes.
can't reenact it because Scott Turner's no longer with us. Rest in Coach's peace.
Mention Coach's piece. All right, so we've talked a little bit about the draft, a little bit about free agency. We covered the franchise tags, and we talked about Bieniemy. We talked about Snyder. I think for the most part, from an all-season standpoint, on the football side of things, we're pretty much there. Any final thoughts for this beginning stages of the off-season, boys?
Yes. How weird was it today that Tom Brady had to shrug off rumors about coming back again, which I said, I'm not done with him until he's done again. But also, Phillip Rivers making a little bit of noise, trying to get back in last year late.
What?
Having
Yes.
his agent reach out to a couple franchises, and now he's being super aggressive.
I love Phillip Rivers playing in this league again.
I've always been a fan of Philip Rivers.
Well, Phillip Rivers, who's always been a big
can
fan
play
of
in the league.
Phillip Rivers, and always has been very good, although he's 0-4 against the University of Maryland Terrapins.
He is.
This is not home turf for him, but I think right now he's having that itch. So I just read this whole thing right before coming over here. I was like, Phillip Rivers is trying to get back in the mix.
So there are teams he could go to and challenge for a
Us.
starting job, but and challenge for a starting job. It would be interesting to see how much he wants in compensation first and foremost.
True.
Because I don't think we're in the market for anybody who wants more than like 10 to 15 at the most, right? And I think that's going to be hard.
He's got mouths to feed. There's no doubt.
He sure does.
Get some hungry ass
He sure
white
does.
people at his joint.
You could be like, I'll pay you $10 million. He'll be like,
Yeah, he's got like
I want
10
5.
children.
Well, you said
doesn't
10. You said 10. I mean, I think his negotiation tactics are going to be a suspect. But I think we're desperate to start Sam Howell in week 1. Like, desperate to.
I certainly, and I understand.
Unless he just can't.
I understand that this is not exactly the most sound off-season quarterback plan that we've ever discussed in our 8 years.
No, it may be actually the most
Maybe.
sound. It may be the most sound.
That could also be
But
argued.
on the scale of,
Yeah.
but like reality
Right,
sound,
right,
like
like-
it may be just short of.
And the Commanders have the 47th highest paid quarterback and no backup, and they feel very strong about it.
And it's
Ron
76
Payne's
Back
Actually,
up.
they do. They still
Actually,
feel
NES
very strong about
Tecmo
it.
raises an
The
interesting
enemy's
point
on board
the
already.
board. He's no one explained to him you can retire with that many kids. I think if you look at like a chart of how many kids someone has and the age that you retire, like the amount of kids he has, like the retirement age for the average retirement age is like 87 for someone who has that many kids.
I will just say this. My father was a high school football coach. I'm 8 to 12 years older than my siblings, and we'd be sitting there practicing. He'd call home and be like, what? Okay, blah, blah. Okay, we're going to stay here for about another 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And I was like, why? He was like, there's stuff going on. I've got to take care of. Blah, blah. Meanwhile, it's because he didn't want to go home until bedtime at 7:30. And guess what? That makes some damn sense. But Phillip Rivers was like, oh, it's time to spend time with the family. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's time to play football again. It is time
Did
to
you
play
know
football
we
again
had 10 kids?
24/7.
I didn't know we had 10.
Whose kid is that?
It's time to
that's your
dedicate
son.
myself. He's like,
So-
I think he said, I'm ready to give the amount of time necessary to be a professional quarterback again.
And by the way, in his off fall, he coached high school football.
Yeah.
He was like, is there anywhere I can go? From like
He's a maniac.
3 till 7.
He's a
'Cause This
maniac.
place is, I know.
He's a maniac.
That means his kids are also maniacs.
Probably.
Genetics is the son, bitch.
NC State and North Carolina, interesting combo in the backfield.
Yes, yes.
I think so.
Old
it's
balls, new balls.
super old balls. If a guy like him would totally be welcome here, if you have like the talk with him and you're like, hey, listen, just so you know, like we're desperate to start this game.
Oh, I thought you were saying, stop having kids.
Yes. First of all,
it's about
no
time
more
someone
kids.
talking about this shit.
We got to talk about
Do you
this.
know what a rubber is? For God's sake, Phillip.
Let me
I
explain.
bet he's having another. That's why he's doing it.
Wow. I mean, okay. Probably it's a good reason as any. But
Starting offense, huddle up.
if you tell him, because if all this what we're saying is true, and Eric Bieniemy was like, hey, listen, here's the deal. Like we think Sam Howell can play. He's got minimal time. We're paying him nothing. We'd love to develop him, and we think he can be the guy.
Yes.
We want you to come in and be a backup of.
Phillip Rivers is not a
compete for
backup
the
guy.
job. I'm just saying.
No, he is too angry.
He'll go to
and
some terrible
too
place and try and make them
egotistical.
great.
Then that's where he'll go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
It's
we
not gonna
have to
happen.
have
I
that
agree
conversation
with
with
you.
him.
He's coming back to play, and whoever that other guy is going to sit down.
I don't know if
and-
he's any good.
There's teams where he can go and compete for the starting job right away. I don't think we're gonna give Sam Howell extra like on the scales. Like we're gonna be thumbing down the scale for Sam Howell.
1,000%.
And if Phillip Rivers were
Phillip
to
Rivers
beat
is
that,
never coming here. It's just crazy to me that
Oh, I know,
the
I know.
carousel. The carousel is it's fun to watch the
I
people.
think he's
ride
on the
it.
carousel. I agree with you, by the way. I think Tom Brady's at some. I see Tom Brady as more of a midseason pickup for somebody. I think that's going to be exciting.
What?
Yeah, I think something's going to happen.
With him, I wouldn't be surprised by anything. So.
Yeah, he's going to be in shape. He's going to be eating. He's going to look like a Eastern European
He eats
ballerina.
avocados.
What's that?
All he eats is avocado.
All he eats is avocados. He's going to be in shape. I think he's going to stay in shape.
He's like
And tuna.
yeast. That didn't sound great, but I meant like some type of grain.
He's going to be on
Besides
TV,
yeast,
right? He's
different grain, oats.
He's eating a
I
lot of
changed
oats.
it to oats.
He's eating a lot of oats, like a horse.
The pulp of oats is one of his favorites.
He'll be on TV. He's hanging right now. He's working with comedians and like
What, to make him
consultants
funnier?
to make him more comfortable sounding when he talks on TV.
I mean, seriously, when you have to do that, you should not do it in the first place.
He has so many.
You can't get coached up on
the
being
amount of
funny.
people that they say he's surrounded
Sorry.
by right now that he's like pulling in.
You either can do it or you can't. I mean,
like
you can be
stand-up guys,
refined, but you
motivational
can't.
I think
speakers.
Tom Brady has a realm of funniness, but I don't know. I think this is him stepping out of it.
Yeah.
In that locker room, he can say some funny shit.
Sure.
Because if that dude doesn't say a word for like a month and then he says something funny, the whole freaking place is laughing.
He is consulting
But-
a wide variety. Like I said, he's got some
he's
stand-up
pretty-
guys, some actors, some motivational
pretty
speakers.
warm.
He's,
He's not
trying
like-
to get more comfortable
he's a-
on the
I
air,
don't know. He
but
loves
he's
his
going to get
family.
about
His
5,
parents did a
6,
good
7
job.
weeks in, and he's going to get the call. Someone's going to get super
I
hurt,
feel like how can you not?
and
But-
he's going to play.
He did say
Is it
that
gonna
his
be
daughter and
a-
him adopted a cat.
Is it going to be a
so-
spotlight in the air with the TB12 signal?
I will even
Somebody's-
go this far. I will even say he's going to be calling a game potentially even for the team that he's going to ultimately play for.
If he's like, F
Even
this
when they
ass.
come back from,
Like,
they're going to come back.
Dies, it's like
They're going to come back from
breakaway suit.
halftime.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to
Al
be
Michaels is
exactly
going to be
that.
like, Tom decided to just go down and play.
But the idea is going to be planned. It's going to be Inception style. The idea is going to be planted on the air during a game. Someone's going to go Joe Theismann style on the field, and then like whoever his co-host is going to be like, "Whoa, looks like an opening." Just I mean, I think he can even say stuff like that. They don't probably finish that game these days.
Well, it would be Purdy and Lance crashing into each other pregame at the pregame, and both of them can play. Staged by TB12 Incorporated. The next thing you know, he comes out of the booth and he's like, "There's no one here." Eddie DeBartolo Jr. comes down. He smooths out the whole deal with everyone. And then we have Tom Brady on
I think
September 11th,
if
2023.
If you guys let me do this, if we get to
America.
the opening week of the season, we'll put together 6 or 7 teams that have legitimate chance based on their skill players to win the Super Bowl and the quarterback they have in place. So that if that quarterback is gone, so Tom Brady's not coming back to finish out a quarterback for a terrible team. He doesn't want it like that. He's coming back.
I don't think so.
To play for a team that legitimately goes to the Super Bowl if they have a quarterback that can get the job done. So there's only like 6, 7, maybe 8 teams that we know on week 1. And we're like, all right, if the quarterback goes down, they still have all these other players. Tom Brady is absolutely coming to be quarterback for that team if the opportunity
For
arises.
$5.
For $5.
The Players Association is going to go nuts. He's going to be like, "I've been giving you guys
over.
I've been doing. Listen, I'm the one guy you've never given shit to. This is how I roll.
Mm-hmm.
If someone else wants to play this position for 500 years, Gandalf the shit out of them. I don't give a crap.
He's
This
like,
is
Bitcoin's going to be worth more
Yeah.
again someday.
Right.
He's like, I got all
Well.
this Bitcoin. It's going to be worth something someday. He's $5, whatever the least amount. He's like,
And a box of envelopes.
a box of envelopes, and he will yank his clip-on tie right off,
do with
and he
the
will run
envelopes?
down to the locker room, and that's going to be that.
Look at my
That is
list.
happening.
with the envelopes.
Remember,
Oh, no.
you heard that
It's
here
from
tonight.
Friday. And it's one
It's
of my
100%
favorite. The crackhead said it.
going down. Greg Martin, by the way,
I know
Don't tell
why
nobody.
he wants
That's
the
happening.
envelopes. I don't know why
tell
Tom Brady would
Anthony
want
and
the envelopes.
Dave. who should be watching, by the way.
Plus, he's got monogrammed on.
There's 9 people watching and only 4 thumbs up.
He's got monogram
Very upset about that. All right, so
TB12.
things we don't need to worry about. Think about this. Things we don't need to worry about this season: wide receivers, running backs.
Nope.
Unbeknownst to us, and probably against our better leanings, apparently we're not worried about tight end either at all.
Well,
That's
we
the
have 4 guys that make like less
be.
than $4 million together,
Yes.
which is cool. Plus 1 guy that makes all the
We're
rest.
officially not though, team.
Yeah.
That's the team's.
should
the
be.
team's official stance is we're good at
Logan
tight end.
Thomas is, they're saying,
Yeah.
Back.
a little more pliable than he was this year.
Okay.
And a little less, well, I don't know what that means.
A
or who's
little
telling
more
us
is
that.
Not very comforting either.
Who's
just-
testing his pliability?
I
That's
just
what
wanted to say, before we get into this, we got to do this draft, correct?
we're doing the
I
draft.
know, before I just wanted to say one thing to T. I wrote down the numbers, and I wanted to know what you would say. Norwell, what Norwell is going to cost, and what would it cost to cut him?
He
Oh,
should
he's
cost
gone.
0.
So it would cost us 5.1, and the hit is 2.8.
Yeah, that's
So
$5 million.
That's 2.3 in savings. Do we keep Norwell?
No.
No one should keep Norwell
He's a
ever.
June 1st, though. He's a June 1st
I
guy,
know.
right?
No
We
one
have to
should
designate
keep
him
him.
late.
We got
no
some
one
June
should
1st
pick
guys.
him
Can't
up.
get that savings until later, which is all right.
No.
By the way,
No.
I don't.
No.
Well,
All right, let's not do that. Sorry.
no, we're doing that. That's important. That's an important thing to say because I've been counting Andrew Norwell as a cut since.
Yeah, of course. Oh, no. There's a lot of money that
Since
could-
he lost the game for us on,
I know you hate him.
Chase Roulier.
I mean, you're not personally.
But that's a 12.4 with an 8.1. You got to keep that guy to the best of your possible
The
abilities.
best of your ability, but that was the next words coming out of my mouth where that's going to be the possible surprise cut if we do it in the draft what we're saying. And
We're
all of a
about to
sudden,
get to our
my
financials
voice is
before
gone.
that.
I can't even say.
You okay? You getting
that's how hard
choked
it's
up
to
over
say
there?
Chase Roulier is going to get
This
cut.
is finally Rhett. We can finally use Rhett. Rhett, I think we need the Heinlich maneuver. Stat.
Right, get over here. Lose those pants.
No, Heinlich.
No,
That's different.
you're gonna lick his Heine?
No, but-
That doesn't
all right, that's
clear
not-
your
no, but
throat.
that's not even
Oh, maybe
Ken.
it does. I don't
Put
know.
that.
Unbelievable.
Is that your name?
Who?
I don't even know what's
That's
going
not
on
supposed to
over
look
there.
like that.
It's just,
Jesus.
there's no lights on over there.
Oh,
It's dark
okay,
in
that's
the
enough.
corner.
Nope, that doesn't look good, dude. Go get that checked.
Oh, they're
I'm
not-
just
they can't
happy.
see.
I'm just happy he's
can't see.
awake.
I'm
And
just happy
if
he's
anyone
here.
deserves to have a nap, it's a guy with. He's second to Phillip Rivers. He's the Phillip Rivers of the street.
I
think
do
that's
like
what-
that,
that's
Greg
what
Martin.
you
There's
are.
a lot
That's
of
what
that.
you
There's a
are.
lot of redundancy. You can't replace them
Yes.
if you keep them. And so I do like what Ron Rivera said. He said, I want to get out there right now,
Mm-hmm.
sign as many of the guys that we want back, which is, for him to determine,
Sure.
before any of this stuff breaks out, because it makes the draft way easier. And that's kind of crazy because we do know best available in the first, maybe turns into plug and play and what the team needs. So I think these guys, what I gathered from that, which I don't know shit, is that they'd much rather have all these things in place and go after some of these young It
Yes,
gives them
yes.
the ability to actually be great at the draft.
And that's why free agency comes first.
I agree.
And it makes sense. And
Even if you don't pay all the money into it,
And I'll-
you got to plug 20 freaking 5 starters in.
I think that
Shit.
the list of guys who can save us money is
Yeah.
long.
It is.
And there's some of those guys that you would legitimately.
Roulier, Lenho,
Hold on, hold
Norwell,
on.
they're the top. But
Hold on.
then we have no alignment.
All I'm saying is you can save a lot of money by cutting a lot of guys. Some of those guys are guys you have to keep because you're a football team and there's things we don't know about them. We see a number, coaches see like, I need that guy. But there's a lot of those guys that you can be replaced at cheaper numbers and allow you to go get that one or those 2 guys in free agency. It's worth more to us to be able to have the wherewithal to go get a starter at linebacker, a starter on the offensive line, than it is for us to have a bunch of guys who may or may not really play for us this year. Yeah. And by the time we get to them on the roster, if we're counting on our 4th and 5th string, at some of these positions, would you have rather had that offensive tackle that you could have spent the extra money on than the laundry list?
You
of
always
guys?
want to have the offensive tackle.
You always do, and that is a calculus that we haven't had the luxury of making because we have had to do more with less over the years under Dan Snyder. In this particular setup, especially when we're paying a quarterback so little and we have skill positions so set, the thought is you can potentially argue that to spend the money on a Tremaine Edmonds or an Orlando Brown because they're impact players. at the point of attack, and they make all the other plays around him better.
And right now we can argue all that shit, and it's fun.
And it is fun. It is
'Cause
fun.
It's unfolding right before our very eyes. But I think before it gets dark in here, we should do the draft.
Let's transition over to that. Now,
I mean,
here's the rules.
I'm just saying, I don't have much left. All right, tell me
We
the
don't
rules.
have much. That's good. We got to the end of his sheets.
No, I haven't even showed you my new sheet.
I don't want to see your new sheet.
I did it.
any
well,
sheets.
I won't tell you what
I didn't do
wore
a
as
sheet because I think my list is nowhere near any of your all's list.
I think the same thing about my list.
I have one
What's
sheet.
y'all's
could go
list?
very- this
How
could
many
go
lists?
very
All right, what's
awry.
the list?
So here's the deal.
Everybody's list is
We're
different
drafting
on something
fictional
like this.
cops. Fictional cops. Fictional. That means they can appear in any form of fiction. Let your mind wander.
I did create a cup, but I don't
got-
think I'll be drafting him.
Okay.
Created one.
You created one. I like it.
created a
NES
fictional
Tecmo
cop
is
to
on
draft.
the hook
I
for the
did.
board.
I'll tell
okay?
you about it when we get there.
Okay.
Bishop McNamara has 2 draft picks in this draft. You heard it here. So
shit.
we're going to let NES Tecmo go first. McNamara will lead off first and second. Then we're going to go T, and Kevin, you're going to
I
snake it
did
back.
go first last week, so I appreciate it.
All right, so NES Tecmo, you're on the board for the board. Number 1 overall draft pick in the fictional cop draft of 2023. Private detectives, FBI, all counts. It's all it's fictional. Cops with a small c, right? Cops with a small c. Detectives,
Cops with a K.
PIs.
I went cops with a K.
You can do cops with a
A
K.
small K.
You can. All right, so NES Tecmo, you're up. I hope your connection is good because you're gonna snake it after some picks. Now, I think this fight is scheduled for 5 rounds.
Ooh,
This fight is scheduled for 5 rounds.
I like it. We're gonna keep it moving.
All right, number 1, Francis Castiglione, aka Frank Castle, played by local kid John Bernthal. Frank Castle. Are you got it?
I don't know.
All right, good.
I like the
I know you like to be
Frank
the
Castle. I don't know if I like to be. I don't think I can help it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes you perfect for
I
it.
don't want it,
A
but
little 1 right there.
yeah, one. Oh, we know it. So I'm
All
gonna
right,
snake it back
so
up this way.
all right, so I'm number 1. I'm number first round number 2. I'm gonna go. My first round selection is on the board. My number 1 guy, and I had him on TV already tonight. John McClane, Bruce Willis,
I thought that would be a
Die
top
Hard.
pick.
Yeah, no, he's
and it
my
would have
number
been
1.
One of mine. John McClane.
I love it. It was on TV as the guys walked in tonight. I put it up there.
Oh, I got a snake after
So
T.
T,
picks?
you get for your first round pick.
Yeah, it's my number one overall.
Okay.
How can he not be?
Okay.
Joe Swanson.
Oh, you know what? I thought about taking him just to screw you
could I
over.
That
not?
would've been fucked up.
I mean,
Yeah, I tried.
No, that would be definitely fucked up.
I
if he
was
did
going to
that.
do it. He's
That's
on my
my boy.
board.
You're a terrible person.
Let's do it.
He's high on the board. I mean, he was ranked pretty highly
You can't
for me.
take him.
I mean, what
but
what
the only reason why
Only
I
I
didn't
can take
is
him.
because
justify this?
no, the only reason why I didn't.
Well,
get
unless
is
somebody
because
else
I set
on the
draft
board is in a
order.
wheelchair that I don't know of. they
If
would
I
be
got
eligible.
randomly assigned to a draft pick higher than you when I wasn't in charge of select, I was going Joe Swanson 100%.
What was that? You're right, Rhett. The green room would have been spoiled.
The green room would have been spoiled forever. All right, Kevin, you get 2.
I know. Well, my first one is easy. It's Reggie Hammond.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy, 48 Hours. Oh, 1982. It was the first time I was like,
That's a great pick.
what? Who's this guy? Who are you? And the other guy that I said that about, it couldn't be opposite. More polar opposite. Lieutenant Frank Drebin.
Oh, he
You-
wasn't gonna last
Bastard.
past.
Nice beaver.
Nice beaver. Just had it stuffed. Had it stuffed.
Well, surely you can't be serious.
Frank
And it's
Drebin?
the goofy. My kids looked at it and they were like,
God
Dad,
damn it.
Is that my?
we don't like you anymore, but we do love you. I was like, you'll get it someday. But they might not. 80s slapstick. But look, if you go Reggie Hammond and Frank Drebin, you're setting your team up for success. Who's not going to want to hang out with these
Well,
two?
yeah, that's a good
Move
balance.
forward, gentlemen.
That's a good balance.
T-Bird, you
That's
are
good
on the
balance.
clock.
Speaking of balance, because of my first pick and some of his, let's say, challenges, I would definitely go number 2 with RoboCop.
Oh, he's on my list
This
as well.
dude's drafting with no paper for the first time in
Oh, I don't
since
need paper.
September 22nd.
I don't need paper.
2015.
I don't need to look at anything.
Technically, but legit, we're going September 3rd, 1975. And this is some serious shit. I'm scared to see what's going to happen next. RoboCop. This is
RoboCop.
so far so good.
Everything's been
These
on my
teams
board.
are
Very
stacking
balanced.
up here, NES Tecmo.
All right, so I got to go. He was I get 2 of the next 3. I got to guard against NES Tecmo. So what I'm going to do here is go with
These McNamara guys know some weird shit.
I'm going to go with Martin Riggs, Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson.
I knew you were doing that right now. You weren't going to let NES Tecmo get it.
No, I don't know if he's a Lethal Weapon guy, but Martin Riggs is my man, and God, I love those movies. And only Reggie Hammond. I had Reggie Hammond above Martin Riggs. Obviously, it was Reggie Hammond then Martin Riggs for me. As far
We've
as
had these conversations.
the franchise.
We all
guys.
know how we feel about Reggie Hammond.
And Frank Drebin would have gone before all of them. So NES Tecmo, you're on the board for 2. And I'm scared because I gotta wait. I do have some good
I'm
names
scared
here.
because T's acting so confident.
He is. He
Yeah,
just,
well,
he's,
only one
he's
of
like
mine.
Rain Manning it. He's
Only
doing
one
you-
of my
he's doing
top
you.
5 has been taken. And probably the most familiar of my top 5.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Maybe
Not
not.
about you, sir.
Ooh, Rick Hunter just went off the board at the bottom of the 2nd round, played by Fred Dreyer.
Son of a bitch.
He's the on your board.
No, not in this round. I didn't think anyone would have him on the board.
I don't
Oh.
watch cop
It
shows.
was a great, but this was old school. This is like,
that's one of the few I watched.
yeah, me too. My parents watched it, so I watched it. That's
Yeah.
why. Fred Dreyer, man.
Fred Dreyer was the man.
He was a DN for the
I
Rams.
knew him before. I knew him as Hunter before I knew him as
let's
a
not,
DN
let's
for the
not, let's
Rams.
not get any table talk here. Let's just keep this draft moving.
But can I just?
About Hunter.
Well,
no,
no,
go
we're waiting
on
on
about
NES.
Fred.
Yeah, I'm
NES
talking
gets
about
2.
Fred.
Yes.
Well, he's still
Go
gotta come
nuts
up.
on Fred. Go nuts on Fred.
Johnny Utah off the board. Johnny Utah.
Make
Missed
it
your
2.
window, bruh.
Make it 2, Utah. That's what he just had to. And his
Surfing his
that
life.
is well done in the
He
conference.
just went Rick. He just went Hunter and Johnny
No,
Utah.
and he killed it. That was really well played.
All right, so we got a new addition to the board.
Let's go.
Shark with the Redskins logo.
Nice.
And let me tell you
I'll tell
something.
you right
I'm going to
now.
dedicate this next pick
Still
to him.
waters run deep.
I'm going to dedicate this next pick to him. Chief Ralph Wiggum
You
from The Simpsons. There was no
bastard.
way he was getting past.
That was my next
There's
pick.
no. I mean, you should have taken him. You should have taken him when you had the
It
chance.
happens.
You know, he's the picture of the
All
show
right.
tonight. I can't
So
believe
you
I still
guys-
got him.
Right before
dangling him out
I was
there.
going to pick my own. You took my 3rd and my 4th.
Yes.
Actually, it was Wiggum and then Drebin in that order. So I've got to bump up.
That's my
And,
maiden, that's my maiden name.
I'm going to take him a little earlier than I normally would, but it's still a great spot to take him. Roscoe Pico Train.
Yes, Roscoe Pico Train. Pico Train.
That's right.
James Best, the actor who made him famous on The Dukes of Hazzard. All right,
Holy
Kev.
shit. I know this. I know that I can do this right now and take. I mean, it's Harry Callahan, Dirty Harry,
Yes,
Clint
yes.
Eastwood. I mean, growing up, my uncles, my grandfather, everyone was like, you love that, right? You love this guy, right? He's nobody. They
Dirty
loved
Harry.
Dirty Harry. Every time it was on, get in here. I was like, oh man.
I think people are wondering why you know what? I did say Ralph Wiggum. It's Clancy Wiggum. You know what?
Ralph was the son. I picked it up, but it's all right.
I know, but I just hugged him on the stage in front of millions of people, Goodell style. I was wearing a sweater and everything.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I don't think he knows everyone's names either, by the way. There's no way he knows everyone's names.
Oh God, I'm freaking
Dirty Harry's
out here.
great, by the way.
I'm freaking out, but I'm
But
going.
I was never a big. I mean, as great as it is, that wasn't in my wheelhouse. The Dirty Harry movies.
Well, when I was young, it was brought to my wheelhouse,
okay.
forced upon me. I was pretty much told that was what I was supposed to do. You like him? I was like, okay. And I also like
You're right, Greg.
him, and I'm gonna go with Thomas Magnum. I mean, who the hell
Yes.
else had this setup? This dude was
Is he a
killing
cop?
it. Oh yeah,
He's a
Is it-
PI.
well,
we
Private
said cop with the
investigator.
small K,
yeah,
and
that
I'm not
counts.
finished. with Cop with a Small K.
Magnum PI
But
for
I'm going
sure
Magnum.
counts.
I got to go Magnum. Come on, Higgins. Come on, TC. We're back on T-Bird for
Oh,
pick
it's
number
back to me?
14.
Oh, perfect. 'Cause
Fourth round.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go right off the bat. This is a guy I wanted all along. Means a lot to me in my childhood.
Reggie Hammond.
You know, because it was one of those VHS tapes that you had at the ready and watched a million times, and you know why I watched it a million times. Kerry Mahoney.
Yeah. Yeah. Police Academy was the big
Yep.
deal. It was the real deal. And
I have another cop from that movie on my draft board. We interviewed
Me
him.
too.
We interviewed him at the draft. We interviewed him at the draft. In fact, well, I mean, there's four. There was four invited to the combine. Actually,
Yeah.
5 if you count Bobcat Goldthwait. But there was five invited to the draft. But they weren't all I don't know if they're all going to be drafted.
there's a major one out there. There's a couple. There's a lot.
Wait, what is this?
There's a ton.
Dirty Harry.
That's Dirty Harry. Okay. All right. So now it's up to me. It's back to me. Oh man, I got some good ones. I got some good ones left on the board. Now it comes down to how do I fill this in. So I'm going to say I could do the impossible, but I won't. I'm going to go with. All right. You're going to make me do it. I'm going Jimmy McNulty from The Wire.
Okay. There's a lot of Wire that hasn't
Yeah.
been drafted yet.
I
and-
know there's some good one, but McNulty.
No. I'm not saying one's better than
I
the
had him
other.
rated as a top 5 draft prospect, so I have to take him, and that gives NES Tecmo 2 in a row.
No, 2 in a row.
And then I feel
Two
like
in a row.
then I can go luxury. I feel like but I got to go value right away.
All right, NES
NES Tecmo
Tecmo.
for 2.
There is a
There's-
ton.
it's-
We could do this for a long
My
while.
board, I guarantee you, my board and his board are not the same.
I know, and I guarantee
I have
ours
40
isn't
guys
either.
on this board,
And by the way, I have
and gals.
Well,
No gals.
no.
Who'd you take?
Damn it, there's no gals
I
on my
took
board.
Thomas Magnum PI.
Let me see who's been
You
taken.
took Kerry Mahoney and
Serpico is the
Can I see
yeah,
who's
yeah,
been
yeah,
taken?
yeah, yeah,
Al
yeah.
Pacino. Yep.
How about you just ask me and I'll tell
just
you if
wanna
they've been taken? Because Ken tried to read.
I know.
This isn't my penmanship.
It's
This
important.
is my jostling.
Okay.
You got it.
Yep.
Serpico went first to NES.
No chance. I'm getting called out by Shark. I said, there's a lot of guys and gals, and he was like, no chance. And you're right. There's no chance. I kind of noticed it.
Sir,
We even
sir,
did
why do you think I knew my list and
We
your
only-
dad's list was going to be super opposite?
we even had a Me Too moment earlier on the show that made T uncomfortable as our general counsel. John Spartan, played by Sylvester Stallone. All right. I'm starting to paint a picture of NES Tecmo, which so it comes back to me, and the question for me is: do I go movies or TV?
Certainly a question for yourself. Because, the options are unlimited.
The options are unlimited. Or do I go fictional? In the booksies. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm not. I'm going to go Axel Foley, Eddie Murphy.
God damn it.
I'm not missing out.
Thank
Damn.
God you didn't make me get him twice because
I know. No,
I don't want him.
That you just stole 2 of mine right before you.
I mean, Axel Foley is
He's
absolute gold.
he is right at the top of my board. And
know.
He was, but Beverly Hills Cop
But
wasn't
by
even my
taking
top.
him,
48 hours
you
was way above
totally
Beverly
take
Hills
all my
Cop.
diversity.
It
away.
wasn't way. It
I have no
wasn't above.
diversity now.
But I love.
I have no
love
diversity now.
Beverly
I'm going to be branded the old white guy.
Come on, old honks.
Well, because my next
Old
guy,
honk shanks.
it was definitely. I'm next, right? I'm up.
Longshanks. What?
Am I up?
No. Yes.
Senor Blanco.
Senor
is
Senor Beanbag.
Is it my turn?
Senor Beanbag, you are up.
Well, because you took,
Yeah, I did take Axel Foley.
and because I don't. Obviously, if you look at my list, I don't take cop shows very seriously. Axel would have been a great
Yeah.
finish
Yeah, of course.
But-
Finish.
because this is our 5th.
Oh, of our original.
But you know, Ken always busts out one 6-round finisher.
Oh, I got a whole lot of
Okay,
honorable
okay,
mentions.
okay.
I know, but
I'm talking about my solid 5.
Your solid 5.
I have to go Buford T. Justice, bro.
Okay. Buford T.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Justice. Little turd Reynolds.
yeah, Buford.
Turd Ferguson.
So this means I'm down to the last one. Well,
Yep.
there is no chance, and that's why I'm so proud of NES Tecmo for taking Fred Dreyer, because D.D. McCall ran my 80s, baby. D.D. McCall on Hunter
Yep.
was the freaking best. If D-E-E, capital D-E-E, McCall. Yes.
D.D. McCall.
D.D.
All right.
McCall was absolutely influential in my and me becoming the man I am today.
We have 8.
Is no one gonna laugh at that?
I didn't watch
at
the
least
show.
Don't take it seriously.
I don't know who D.D. McCall is.
You know what I hate when people say, and he's instrumental in the man I've become today. You're essentially saying like you're a great man.
I don't know
and
who
someone
D.D.
else helped you
McCall
be a great
is.
man. I hate when people say that.
Is she hot?
Never say someone's become the man I am today. You say
Is she
like
hot?
he's been influential in that. D.D. McCall.
Yeah.
I had 2 choices.
I don't know who
here,
it is.
and I took D.D. McCall.
All right,
didn't
so
watch
here's
Hunter.
the deal.
You
NES
remember
Tecmo, do you have the ammo to go deeper in this draft? Because there's a couple folks on the board who can
If he
help
doesn't,
out.
we can go board style.
Yes, we can
And I
go
think-
board style. I
Well,
don't want
to be fair, look
I'm
at
not
the
taking
NES's.
away- dude, he's
NES
crushed it.
yeah,
I know,
yeah,
I know.
That's
I just want to
that's
make sure. I
not
don't want to
demean
put a guy on the
NES,
spot,
but-
especially class
So that means
94.
I get to go now.
Yes.
And tell you what my tour was.
Start here and bring
Got
it
it.
on back.
There's a go.
Yeah, bring it on back.
There we go.
All right, so you're Yep.
KRT.
Yep. Okay.
Amen. And
So NES.
And I get to go first, though,
Yeah,
right?
your NES. You have number 4
You're
and
now
5.
fourth.
4 and 5.
And
of
I'm
the- of
doubling
this
up
bonus.
as happily as I could ever be.
Yep.
Sergeant Stacy Sheridan.
Ooh.
Heather Locklear.
Oh. And,
TJ
Hooker.
Man, I just got I feel great about this.
Heather Locklear was.
If this
is
was
a
like the
great
first
one.
week of September, I'd be feeling great about what's going to happen until Christmas, New Year's, fantasy style. Heather Locklear is, I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing? Unfortunately, for Mr. I memorized all my favorite, which is a pretty amazing. You're up, sir.
Oh, Officer Barbrady.
Just one.
Officer Barbrady.
He was,
I-
to be
you know.
fair, on.
He's on the list.
No, Ken, he was the, what do you call it? The,
No, that was Chief.
That was
Chief
Wickham.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
That was Wiggum.
So Officer Barbrady is my second ranked cop from South Park on my board.
Dude, this could go.
Just so you know.
But there's some
But he's
great-
there.
This is so good.
So it comes to me, and I will say, let's just keep it going here. Let's go. I'm going to go John Shaft. Jonathan
Shit!
Shaft.
I thought I could get him in the next round.
Played by Richard Roundtree.
You
said-
goddamn right.
He said Shaft.
John
Shaft.
Shaft is
What a
mine.
great.
Mine.
When I listened and they were like, you goddamn. They said his
Goddamn
name.
right.
You goddamn right. I was like,
That's what I did. By
I
the
mean,
way,
is there another way to say it?
we're not stopping this draft until we have 10 thumbs up. How about that? 10 thumbs up, we stop the draft. Let's go. Let's go.
By the way, real thumbs are not included here.
We want 10 thumbs up, and we're stopping it. And now
Phalanges.
NES Tecmo.
Phalanges are off.
You go 2 in a row. 2 in a row.
Dude, there's some good stuff out
There's
there.
just 2. The best part about it is how many guys have been, how many fictional cops.
Shark. You called it out early. This
He
guy
did.
is full of S right now. He is just playing that game. I want someone to text me.
All right. So I'm going to give a pick of mine to the board.
You're giving a pick away?
Oh, your top 2, Rhett?
Top 2. All right. So Judge Dredd. So 2 Stallones. 2 Stallones. So Sledgehammer
I'm
and
just
Judge Dredd.
I love it. I've been listening to a lot of Dirty Heads lately, by the way.
Yes.
Their playlist is sick. Stallone. I just started singing it right now. I'm just Sylvester Stallone. I love it. And by the way, oh, man. Oh, hold on. Don't
Robert
look at Robert
Cohen.
Cohen.
Don't- Robert Cohen.
You're just pulling your pants down, sir.
Oh, Robert Cohen.
You just got butt naked in front of the whole
for
board.
goodness sake.
Yo, what happened?
Don't look at
I
Robert.
know.
T
Someone
can't see it.
someone
T can't
type
see it.
emoticon.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah,
Blah,
just
blah, blah, blah.
push it up the list. Push it up the list. Thumbs up. Return. Thumbs up. Return. Come on. Push it up. Push it up the list. I need everyone on the board to get behind this. We're not going to look at any.
Ken,
of
I
this.
forgot who you took before NES went. It's Stallone.
I went John Shaft.
Got it. Sorry, I got excited. You goddamn right.
Goddamn right I did.
Goddamn right you did. And now you're back. Guess who's back?
All right. Hey, Shark, if you're on the board,
Shaft.
you're up.
Shaft is back. Shaft is
give
back.
Shark this pick.
Yeah. Go ahead, Shark.
You know who's yeah, there you go.
Shark.
Robert Cohen. Keep pushing it. Keep there it is.
No. Cohen, I love it.
Keep
No,
pushing
you're
it.
the best. That's the
Push
best.
Push it.
Team
Yes.
player. This
Yes.
dude, honestly, this is an O-line, D-line type cat. This
Yep.
guy just cares about his teammates in the squad, and he's.
I know, and he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's doing the hard work right now.
I love it. It's. And by the way, I looked at some of his answers. The only reason I freaked out is because they're great answers, and I didn't want. either
No,
of these
Joe
two
Swanson's
turds to say
picked.
him.
Joe Swanson was picked in the first round. All right, you get one more try,
That
Shark.
was my number one
that was,
overall.
That was T's
To
first
be fair,
round
Shark
overall.
wasn't
Come on,
in
Shark.
here then.
He
he
joined
might-
mid-draft.
mid-draft.
He may have come in
All right,
late.
you get
He may
one
have
more
come in
shot, Shark. Let's go.
No more.
But how dare you to
quadriplegic
think
cop
that he
Shark.
didn't last that long, too?
A little insulting that you didn't think he was.
I take personal offense to that, Shark.
It's a weird world out there, young man, and apparently someone's offended.
Life cereal.
And it's Red Donnelly.
And we get a life cereal reference from Greg. I tell you. All right, he's gonna go the time cops from Rick and Morty. I will accept that. Time cops from Rick and Morty. They're gigantic testicles, and they police
Sure, I already
the
accepted
timeline.
it. Now you're making me reconsider these gigantic.
Key and Peele. Key and Peele
testicles.
play them, and it's amazing. They are amazing.
T-Bird
cops.
is on the clock.
Well, for
Not on my board. So you got one
practical
there.
reasons, I'm going to go with Officer Michaels from Superbad.
Bam! He's on my list. He's the fastest man alive.
so
he's the
I'm
fastest
up-
man alive. He's the fastest.
I'm going to say it right
man
now.
alive. He's the fastest man alive.
Samuel Gerard, Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive is one of the greatest roles
that's
ever
awesome.
played, and it's so ridiculous.
Is that one of your top
that
two?
has not come out yet.
Oh, it's still not one of his Red's top two. We're not. By the way, we're 10 thumbs up, and we have to get Red's top two, and we're never leaving this basement until that happens. By the way, he has a weird movie taste. So God only knows. Is this?
Do I get to go again?
Were they the
Should
ruins?
I go again?
Or,
Should I not go again?
no, of course you're going again.
All right, I'm going again
We're
because
going to two
I got a
rounds.
guy. I'm going with my man Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead.
Oh.
For God's sake, how does he not go yet? Because Rick
No.
Grimes
Still haven't
is
seen
Rick
it.
Grimes. Oh God, I love his
How
character.
many
haven't seen
seasons
it.
did you stick it out for?
All of it.
Okay, good. Because I'm halfway through.
No, it's a grind, brother.
haven't done it.
Once you're in, you're in.
Okay.
And you cannot get out. And I wish I could have, but I couldn't.
I understand.
And you know my personality, but Rick Grimes was one of the.
He's the best.
A lot of the other shit made it. You're like, oh God, but Rick Grimes,
He made you want to be a better man.
Mr. Dependable, Mr. Dependable.
He made you the
Rick
man you are
Grimes.
today.
Rick Grimes, you made me the man I am today.
Now we can get
a
Look
Cheeto
at this,
eating,
look at this.
cherry Coke guzzling.
By the way,
You
you were so concerned that we were taking you seriously the first time.
No, I wasn't.
Every single time you draft somebody, I need to hear a new version of Rick Grimes.
you
Made me
son of a bitch.
bitch. That's what I want to hear. Okay, who's up? Who's up? T? No, you went twice. Yeah, T, you're up.
Yeah, T-Bird.
What do you got, T?
This is going.
I'm up
Yeah,
again.
you're up.
We all got to get around
At
somehow.
this point, to be fair, we're banged
Ooh.
up and we're going to keep on rolling.
We all got to
going
get around somehow. And since it's a cartoon car, they can all fit. I'm going with Sheriff from Cars.
Sheriff was very high on my list. It would not have gone undrafted. Good
Michael
job.
Wells. Walls.
Michael Wallace. Yeah, Michael Wallace. That's a great call, T. And by the way, is that the best Pixar movie? I'm an Incredibles guy,
I'm an Incredibles guy.
but Cars is right there. T.
They're both amazing.
Kev, okay, they're both amazing. If you number one Pixar movie, go. Number one Pixar movie.
I'm focused here, man.
You can't even go there.
I'm not drafting someone else's.
He's not
draft
doing a
when I'm drafting
sidebar.
draft
No, I'm just
that
saying.
Someone else
I'm
drafted.
just saying.
Can't do a sidebar draft.
It's not a
Yeah,
sidebar
that's
draft.
sidebar
It's just
draft,
a
man.
one. It's a one word answer. I'm sorry.
What, Wally?
Can't get a
There
cash
you go.
game.
There you go.
You can't get a cash game draft going on side.
But to be fair, Incredibles is my favorite.
There you go. There it is. That's all. That's all.
Incredibles is my
We don't have
favorite.
to dwell. I was just inquiring. I
No, but I was guessing what I thought you might be saying.
NES Tecmo said Wally, too.
What is it? Lydia.
NES.
Elliot.
Yeah.
What was her name? Lydia.
I can't recall.
Yeah, she was super
Me?
cute for a robot. Yeah, what did he go with? T went with Wally?
T went with Sheriff. He went with Wally. Seriously, dude?
Wally.
You're just going with
I just like to say it. It's fun to say right now. That's fun to say. Wally.
He's not even a cop. Or is he? He's the only law enforcement in town on that entire planet. You know what? Because he's still on my board, and he's in my he's a first round. I have a first round grade on this individual, Roger Murtaugh. And that means I get both Riggs and Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon. I'm doubling them up. I'm doing it.
And if they doubled up their age and at their time when they shot the movie with your age right now, I think you're too old to be doing this shit.
I'm too old to be doing this shit. I just went straight 3:15. I'm away. Got to get some shut eye. All right. AGH.
AGH, you're a bad dude, man. And I appreciate that.
Nasta.
Absolute crap out of you, man.
NES, do you got 2? NES gets 2. I mean,
And then we're done.
Riggs and
The
Murtaugh.
last round. One, and then, whatever.
Yeah, then we got to come through.
Well,
There's. All right, Crockett Tubbs is number 1 for the first.
that's,
pickup.
well, you know what? He just keeps on playing the game.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're just gonna stop.
How do I not
I didn't have.
How do I not
Tubbs on my
Crockett
list.
Tubbs?
I
All
missed-
right, can I just
missed.
say one thing? Can we
I
just
messed
take them
up.
out? All right, I'm not taking them out.
No, what do you
I'm
mean
going
take
to
'em
draft
out?
them all. I'm about to draft 5 people and watch everyone scream at me.
Okay, well, NES, you're going back to back.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Tubbs
No, he
and
went
who?
He went Crockett Tubbs. What he has to understand is you just got,
He's
he's
opened
got
up,
one more pick.
He just opened up a can of
No, but,
everything.
all right.
Yeah, he's going back to back and coming back through.
Does he know? Because I'm running out of,
You're not running out of anything.
if Rhett leaves here, I swear to God.
He's not going
I'm
anywhere.
set a bear trap for him.
No,
right
there's-
outside where that
there's
guy
bear
set the
traps
bear
all over
trap
the place.
for all his blow up Christmas stuff. I think it was done by a bear trap. I've been doing my research on the local.
I mean, that happens. That happens.
Oh yes.
We can't say it.
What was his name? No, we can't say it. Yeah, and yes, agrees. What? Who's the guy that made the noises in Police Academy? Officer. What was his name?
Oh,
That's what he said. That 2
It
people.
was Officer Winslow.
NES Tecmo.
Officer Winslow.
Don't do it. We can't.
Or was it played by Winslow?
No.
Was it Winslow?
was Winslow.
Winslow was a
You're
character.
up. NES Tecmo said that 2 people telling me.
Then he wanted that. Okay. All right.
He
I'm going to
is-
go with
and-
Francis Llewellyn
Winslow.
Poncherello,
God
otherwise
damn
known
it.
as
That was like Poncho's my number, like my first fan. Like
I loved Chips as a kid.
me too.
Ponch is off the board.
Officer Francis Frank Llewellyn Ponch.
Poncherello.
That's so great.
Francis Llewellyn.
I know.
Frank
I
Ian
wrote
is-
all that out. I just want you to know. I wrote all that out because I meant to take him earlier, and I got a little emotional.
Yeah. It was Jones. It was Michael Winslow was the name of the actor, and Jones was the name of the.
Well, Michael Winslow I can remember, but
Yeah.
not the rest. Is there
John's
any?
done.
All right. So am I up?
Yeah, you're up. No.
No, tease up.
Tease up.
Tease up.
I'm up again.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with my first serious
Ooh,
fictional character.
I love it.
Only because it was truly like the first and only cop show I truly
he's
ever
gonna talk
watched,
about his
because I
first
felt like
time.
every cop show after that has just mimicked it. I'll go with Sergeant Mick Belker from Hill Street Blues.
Oh,
He was to
I was-
me
I
the
never watched that
definition
show.
of
I never watched it, but I knew the theme
a
song.
cop. I mean, that was the cop that I
I could hear the theme song
it's a
playing
great
from the
theme song.
TV in my parents' bedroom. They were just like watching it.
yeah.
Not that I was listening to anything going on.
He
in
was
my
the
parents'
standard, I
bedroom.
guess, for me.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Please take it easy.
Yeah.
Don't. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Was that the Swiss version?
Take
of
a
the show?
deep breath, everybody.
I'm sorry.
Let's
You didn't like
just
that.
All right, I'm
hold
done.
it together.
Here's what I got.
All right, what do you got?
And I'm
That pick's
finishing it
done
up
for
with.
you.
So everyone else got to take a group, so I'm going to take a group. Jill Monroe, Sabrina Duncan, Kelly Garrett. Baby
Wait, a
sister
group?
Chris
I never
Monroe.
take any
I
group.
didn't take a group.
Couples, groups.
Who took a
I didn't
group?
take a
I
couple.
want all the Charlie's Angels. Sorry,
you gotta
I always
pick one.
have. Are you serious?
No one took a group. No
They're
one took a single
vigilantes.
person. Who took a group?
Then I get 2 Charlie's
They're
Angels.
vigilantes.
Then I get the sisters.
I love the
I get the sisters.
negotiation.
Do I get the sisters?
You got the sisters.
Then I get the sisters, and that's all. When I
That's
wrote
the
this, I
biggest
knew that I would get the
negotiation of all
sisters.
time.
I got Jill Monroe, Miss Farrah Fawcett, and Chris Monroe, Cheryl Ladd. What if you guys get 2?
I
'Cause
never
you
got
both
2
did.
of anything.
I didn't
Oh,
get
yes,
2
you
of
guys
But I
anything.
drafted them separately.
I did not get 2
No,
of
you
anything.
didn't. You got them
Bertog and
both.
Riggs.
That
I
meant
didn't
you got
draft
them both.
anybody.
Yeah, you said, and that
I have
means I
single
get them
people
both.
on
And right
every-
away, I said, Jill and Chris Monroe. Sorry.
I have single
In one
people.
pick,
Well, I'm
you're
just
getting
saying,
2
it's too
Charlie's
late.
No, no, no.
I'm
I got
granting
one
it.
pick.
I'm
I got
granting
one
it.
person,
Sorry,
one
sir.
pick.
I've got Jill and Chris Monroe. You guys can have Sabrina Duncan, Kelly Garrett, or Tiffany Wells.
No. This is a one pick, one person, one pick.
Oh, no. Hold on, T. What you don't seem to understand is that 2 people have taken 2 people already, including Ken Marangolo,
When did I take 2 people?
Murtaugh and Riggs.
I drafted Riggs in the
Saying,
second
I
round.
get
Separately.
both of them. And when you said it,
No, I didn't.
you said, and
I
that
drafted
means.
Murtaugh in a different round.
No, you didn't.
You took them in separate rounds.
Didn't.
Let's
The
go
fuck?
to the- let's go to the
Really?
board.
Really?
I took
Really?
Riggs.
Okay. Where?
Where's Ken?
Where?
Where's Ken?
Let's go with Ken.
Riggs. Mm-hmm. Then where's Ken? Where's Ken? Where am I?
Sorry.
Murtaugh.
So
Yes.
I get the sisters, and there's 3 more Charlie's Angels left. And
I'll
you each only
continue
have
to
2
play
more
by the
picks.
rules.
What do you want, Steve? Who do you want?
We're going again?
Yes.
We're going again.
Do you not know that I have 2 picks? So I get my sisters.
Did you get 2
That's your
picks?
sisters. Yeah, that's your sisters.
I know, but why are you guys yelling at me?
No. You
I played
get-
by the rules.
You played by
try
the
to.
rules.
I try to get 5, and I got
Oh.
2.
Played by the rules. This guy played by the rules.
Monroe sisters, late 70s, early 80s. They were cops, and they wanted a little more to do.
Have we got any of your top
They
2
don't
yet,
want to
Brett?
just be meter maids.
I can't
And
believe
none
this
of them
guy
were
hasn't
gone.
been taken.
We're done
God's
after this.
sake.
I'm done.
I can't believe he hasn't
Hold
been
on.
taken.
I hope you guys all know.
Has he not been taken?
Who?
Dirty Harry.
Yeah,
Sir.
dude, he was taken
Sir,
in the
he was
first
my
or
second round pick.
Oh, okay.
But that's all right.
Unreal.
Uncle
All right,
Jack Tier, shout out to my favorite uncle, my numero uno. He would draft, someone would draft Randy Moss in the first round, and he would select him in the 7th because he didn't scratch it out. And be like, well, why didn't someone scratch it out? Well, that's your draft board. So.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Draft over. But everybody gets 1 pick from this table before Rhett just to see if we can get one of his top 3 or more of his top 3 guys.
His top 3 still haven't been taken?
His top 3 still haven't been taken. All right, so
We each get a chance to
everyone
see who his
gets a
top three
chance.
is?
Everyone gets.
I'm a diversity guy, so I have a black.
Don't give us hints.
It's okay.
Yeah, don't give us hints. He's got 3 guys in his top 3 that haven't been
Sir,
picked.
sir,
we
I
get
have
to-
3 people that are going to possibly eat whatever at midnight.
All right, so T and Kevin, we each get 1 pick to get, and I'll go first. We get to get the stat. We're stabbing away at Rhett's
I like it.
defenses.
Okay.
Donnie Brasco. Is he in your top 3? Damn it!
All right, I have a guess here, and I think it might work. Ana Lucia Cortez from Lost, Michelle Rodriguez.
Ooh.
Oh God, that had to be it.
All right, T, you're our last chance, except we're snaking it back.
Give me a vibe. Do you
For
think
Rhett.
he's? Do you think
I
he's a
don't know. I
funny?
want I
Do you
want
think he's a
Lost.
funny
He
cop,
is. He is.
or is he a serious cop?
All right.
There's going to be a sense
Comedy?
Because I'm going to go funny. I think he's Detective Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
All right,
What?
okay. So 3 more in fast order. I'm going.
fast.
I'm gonna go. Alan Gamble from the other guys.
Oh,
Damn it! Played by Will Ferrell, famously. Anyone?
Chief Brody from Jaws.
yes!
Goddamn right.
Chief Brody's in the house.
Goddamn
Okay,
right.
okay.
Yeah,
We're
that
I
good.
was
just know it's. I wanted to
cracked
say
the
like
code.
3 rounds ago.
We cracked the code. Chief Brody was on my list as well. Okay, fair enough. Good job. All right.
Son of a bitch. That was a great. I just went nuts on here, and my
I know.
armpits are soaked. And that's
That's
It's
your.
Under Armour. It wicks it inward wicks. It's
I
a
need-
wicken.
can I-
What's a wicket?
Can I give
What's
you?
a real-
Can you take
Yes,
this home
yeah.
and put this in your same wash so that it comes out looking the same as that? Because mine looks like I look like I weigh 100 more pounds than you, and I'm sitting next to you, and
You think it has to do with the way it's washed?
yes.
No, it's because I have a boner. I've seen this before.
It's the boner cam?
It's weird.
Yeah,
I hide them under my belt.
His boner goes down.
How many do you
His boner
have?
goes down, so it pulls the shirt
Oh,
down.
rats.
Unbelievable.
Hi, rats. I hate when I say them.
Andy Griffith,
There's one tiny one.
Martin Brody,
You just stick
obviously,
that shit like that.
Kojak,
Andy Griffith should have been on somebody's
Carl
list.
Winslow,
True.
John Kimball,
Deputy Dog, Quick Draw McGraw. I said that seriously.
Training Day, Denzel Washington.
Gomer, Pyle.
That's
I
it.
already said it.
Oh,
Carl Winslow? Carl Winslow from Family
did you
Matters.
say
was-
Alan Gamble?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I said
the
Alan-
shot
yeah.
pop. Yeah, I mean the pop shot, whatever. That was a great. That was a terribly underrated, terrible movie. I don't know. If that
Benoit
made sense.
Blanc, Daniel Craig, Knives Out.
Reginald Vell Johnson. He
Right.
only had 2 roles his whole life.
I-
And what were they?
Al Powell from Die Hard, who is on my draft list,
And
and Carl Winslow from Family Matters.
he
Both
was a
cops.
cop twice.
And he was
That's it.
believable.
He was
believable
amazing
both
at
times.
it. And right now he's a 71-year-old. He's had all this work done. He looks gorgeous, I think.
Paul Blart,
For whatever he wants.
Jill Danko.
I wanted Paul
Inspector
Blart.
Lee,
Paul Blart
Inspector
is a
Gadget.
good call.
Yeah, Paul Blart.
Female cop.
Shout out Patrick Moore and handed me
Plus
Paul Blart today.
seasons.
So that's what I
Female
don't get in the
cop
cop
for 20
shows.
plus
And she's
seasons?
gorgeous, and I know it, and I don't know
Mariska
her name.
Hargitay? Mariska Hargitay.
Benson.
I knew
I can't argue with you. I
can-
just don't know the show.
I got you.
I
It's
didn't
a
watch
Law
the
and
show.
Order.
I still don't know what it
There's
is.
so many good-looking
SVU.
women that
Oh,
played for so
SVU.
long,
Yes.
like tough-ass, hard cop roles.
See, doesn't every show like it's exactly the same?
Correct.
Yeah, that's I can't.
Inspector
that's why-
Gadget, yes.
Thank you guys
Cop
so
shows
much
have never
for being
been.
with us on a Tuesday night. If you were watching this,
I have a
in
story I
delay,
wanna end on.
We still appreciate your likes. We still appreciate your subscriptions,
We've been on
and
for
we
an hour and a
most
half.
importantly appreciate you
Have
being
at
with
it.
us
No, I don't care.
to celebrate it being Tuesday. Thank God it's Tuesday. He's Tim Strachan.
Till next week.
Till next
Tell
week.
your story. I'm going to donate all my time.
Oh, really?
Is it quick?
I can make it quick.
13 seconds?
No, I can't do that.
Fuck
quick.
you.
Let's go. Bring it on.
Well,
I
it
want
has to
this
do with the
story.
picture I sent you guys. With
I
me.
know.
and John Riggins.
Do you want to do it at the end of the show after all this stuff, or do you want it at the beginning of the show next week?
No. I want to do it now because
Okay.
it's in the moment. I'm in the moment. I'm just going to dote on my daughter for a minute. She had her debut in her High School Musical.
That's right.
She decided not to go the sports route. She said, "Dad, this is what I want to do." I said,
Awesome.
"We're all behind you. Let's go."
Let's
I had
go.
no idea.
Awesome.
She's never done it before, and she fucking kicked ass at it, and she was unbelievable. And she has a talent that I never knew even existed. Right.
great.
So here's the crux of it all. I got this. John Riggins was there because his daughter is the lead, right? Coco Riggins, she's a senior. She's been a lead through all 4 years. She's been there. She's the star. Everything. John was there. I got a chance to get his attention. Sit down next to me. I said, I have a story I need to tell you. Now, I know, we all know, people like John Riggins doesn't want every Tom, Dick, and Jerry coming over and saying, remember 1983? I don't want to bug him, right? But I felt like this was important to tell him. And so he did. He was so nice. He came over, he sat down. I said, listen, I'm a sports guy, been a sports guy all my life. I don't understand theater, but this is what my daughter wanted to do. She's a freshman. She was in this play, in this musical. And she came home Tuesday, and she said, Dad, guess what? I said, what? She goes, I spoke to Coco Riggins today. I said, oh, you did? She goes, guess what? I said, what? She goes, she spoke back to me. I was like, oh, great. That's awesome. What'd she say? She says, well, she couldn't believe I was a freshman. She says, you're so good, and you take this so seriously, and I can tell when you're a junior or senior, you're going to be one of the ones that the other ones follow as a leader. And I looked at John Riggins, and I said, it was at that moment I realized John Riggins' daughter told my daughter she's going to be a leader in theater. I get it now. And I said, thank you. Tell your daughter thank you
Yeah, it's
for
great.
doing that. And he just looked at me and he said, that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that with me. And I was like, I knew you would like it. And it was just cool. And I want to share it with these guys because it's a Redskin,
Yeah,
it
is
Mount
not football
Rushmore.
related.
And it was
is
just
Mount Rushmore.
cool to see, to be able to share the experience of our daughters and a moment that they had earlier that week. And I love my daughter. She did a great job. It was a really kind of a gold standard weekend. It was really really
awesome.
cool. And that's
A lot
the way I
of
got to cap it
ambulances
off. So
to Holy Child over the
yeah,
weekend.
yeah, there was some. They
lost a lot of good
I didn't know that
women out
theater
there.
was so rough. But yeah,
Man, it's
2
a real
people got
rough
taken
area.
away in ambulances too. So
They had 2 ambulance 911 calls to the
Yep.
theater during the performance on Saturday.
Well, I'll ask the questions outside.
Yes,
but
yes,
that
yes,
was
yes,
an
yes.
amazing conversation.
Bravo,
was
NES
cool.
Tecmo. You're right about
And-
that.
and-
yes.
and that's a fact.
People are getting excited about it.
I agree, and I would just say this: is there a better dude in DC to sit at the Kennedy Center with when this all takes
Mm-hmm.
part than John Riggins?
No,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a single better
Hey,
person.
RFK and the Kennedy Center were both heralded in my family,
Yeah.
and that's a fact, and still done.
He's Kevin Ricca.
And I love hanging out with you folks, man. This is the best. That's why we feel like we can talk about stuff like this because, man, we're all here doing this. What
We
are we gonna
all
do
are
next
here
time? We don't have to
doing this.
decide tonight. Next week we'll decide what we got to do. But I need a week off of drafting because this was like a 3-way draft, man.
A week off?
This was all right. Then let's go. Then
Yeah, we're
I like
going.
that. I like to really
Let's go.
tease it and watch someone be like, no. Let's do.
We're gonna do a draft.
We're gonna.
We're gonna do a draft next week. We have to. We
Well,
will.
if I was gonna
I
draft,
mean, we don't have to, but yeah, let's do it.
If we were going to draft dudes from the neighborhood, Rhett, your performance tonight was tremendous. If we're talking about Kennedy Center and Riggins,
yeah,
and
the
Kobe
Phillip
Jones,
Rivers-
yeah.
My brother
Phillip
wouldn't even
Rivers
be
of our
top
neighborhood.
4.
Yeah.
of the basement.
Well, hey,
He's the Phillip Rivers of the basement, at least.
there's only oh.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all
and
the best. That was fun. I love this. I love it.
We have a board member who is going to start making, allegedly, some shorts out of our drafts. So we're going to go back. We're going to get the drafts, and we're going to.
But I don't wear shorts.
But you should.
Okay.
You should wear shorts, and we're going to.
And underwear, sir.
Yes.
The whole podcast.
Well, I
would
mean,
be
Yes.
appreciated.
We're going to put our drafts together in short form, and we're going to go back and we're going to put them all down with.
That's
with
nuts.
That's what we're working on. It's a project.
I love it.
So shout out to the board member who I'm not going to call out by name yet until we get. I don't want to put you on the
Yeah,
spot
no,
until we get some
no,
more.
that's fair.
We're going to get some results here, but it's happening. So look for that.
does it rhyme with
Ballsy maneuver.
Ballsy maneuver.
Try and rhyme with ballsy maneuver.
Ballsy maneuver. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us on yet another Tuesday night
Hell yes.
since
you guys.
September 22nd
And
of
gals.
2015.
That's crazy,
This
man.
is what has been happening. And I always tell people, I'm always like, we haven't missed many Tuesdays.
You didn't even give them a snippet?
We haven't even missed many
We
Tuesdays.
we really haven't.
We haven't, and it's a dedication to our craft, and it is a craft. Not everyone can do this. Actually, I've learned not everyone should do this, but not everyone can do this. We can, and we do, and we love it, and it is it's something worth it's something worth continuing. It's a tradition. That's where I was going when the first words that came out of my mouth tonight about I found 9/22/15. That's all I found. It was a file that said 9/22/15. I found 9/22/15, and one of my
How do you
initial
have that file and not the other files that were on the other
because I
computer?
uploaded it to my Google Drive for sharing for some reason, and so they're not all there. But that's when I was like, wait a second.
We could be huge in India and we don't even know it.
We're probably pretty huge in India.
Our Bollywood podcast in India is crushing
I
it.
think we've been doing
Sorry
it
that all the proceeds have been coming to my account. I
long enough to be
apologize.
called a tradition. I think we've established. I think this is the tradition part of it.
I mean,
is
haven't
there.
you heard
Sir, Tuesdays have
in
taken over my
India
life.
there is a saying, they're a rowdy bunch. And I've heard this.
I have heard it too.
I've heard this. It's huge in India. It's huge.
NES.
Don't.
Reach out to me.
I almost-
Twitter at It's Raining
Rowdy
Ken.
bunch.
First Amendment Sports at gmail.com. One or the other. Please reach out to me. I want to get your picks that you didn't make.
And a boob is a life.
Ooh, he's alive. Actually, that is all memorialized. But I didn't know I had 9/22/15. That is just literally turning on a mic and being like, does this work? Does this work? Does that work? Oh my God, this all works. You guys will never believe it works. We talked about whether or not we would start live in the middle of a conversation or not. And I was like, guys,
We're still trying to have that conversation.
Check
So
this
we
out.
have not evolved at all since.
I would say we've evolved. I just would say that it's,
You don't like us having the casual conversation as you hit play because
no,
I think
do.
you're scared.
No, I do. I think you've come a long way in your casual conversation over the last 8 years.
Let's see.
Our green room representative
Yes.
has been reaching out for the better portion of the last 14 to 17 minutes.
I know. I can always, like the fact that you're pushing the. There's a button underneath the table. Like no one can see it because it's underneath the table.
Don't they fill up from this way these days?
He's been like pushing the. He's like pushing the button. He's like I'm pushing the button. I don't. Nothing's
If I'm
happening.
live. If
Nothing's
I'm live
happening.
for 30 more seconds.
Nothing's happening.
I might not make it till
We'll see you next
Wednesday.
Tuesday night. I'm Ken Marangolo
Later.
on behalf of First Amendment Sports. This was Thank God It's Tuesday. We're still live.
That was a fun one, man. I enjoyed the shit out of the board. I was chuckling over here. I can only see a little